Hey peoples, welcome back to my A2 coursework. This is vlog number 3, which is task 2.3. Yeah, it is. Okay, I got it right. First time. Okay, so before I start this vlog, I feel like this is kind of really similar to vlog 2, or technically 7, task 1.7, which is technically my 7th vlog, as I did 6 vlogs for 1.2. Doesn't matter. It does. You stop. You okay? You okay? Essentially, this vlog is just to explain our storyboard idea. I feel like the format that I've done the storyboard in extremely helps with this vlog, because I've done it in digital art and then text alongside that, and I'm going to take you on a journey. I'm going to take you on a very nice journey. It's 21 slides, which includes an introduction slide, and I will take you through this with epic transitions. So, it's going to be a lot of editing. It's going to be sexy. It's going to be good. You're going to love it. This thing is wobbling like crazy. Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good to go. So, to start us off, we have the introduction. Essentially, the introduction to the storyboard gives an equipment list and various memos about the storyboard, as well as essentially the structure that the storyboard will consist of throughout the 20 shots. The first memo just gives a hint that during the production of the individual storyboard, none of the ideas were set in stone, and that our final choice was essentially going to be chosen around about task 3, because I'm trying to do these in order. Secondary memo is that some of the details within the storyboard are a little vague, and that's purely intentional, because I don't want to set anything in stone. When I'm editing, I tend to freestyle quite a lot. It just seems more effective that way. And the last memo is my explanation as to why I've done the storyboard in this format. I previously did this format in GCSE. I found it to be highly effective. I very much enjoyed it, and it contrasts to what I did in AS. The AS storyboard was very poor. I didn't like it. I feel like it can allow me to be a lot more creative, and essentially it's making this vlog a lot easier because I have digital copies of every picture. So yeah, well done, Gimp. Yes, thumbs up to Gimp. Woo! Hey. Focus. There we go. Come up. Yeah, you got. Yeah. There we go. Gotcha. First shot. The video introduction. Right at the start of the music video, I wanted to instantly portray the brand image of Hellberg. A lot of music album arts and web designs, etc. have a signature font, and I wanted to instantly portray this at the beginning of the music video. The start is just going to consist of a black screen in which a white H will fade in and then fade into a transparency. I'm not going to go into the transparency just yet. That's going to be in the next shot. I also want to emphasize the location to start with. This is going to be non-diegetic sound, generic warehouse. This is going to be a reduced volume. I'm going to approximately reduce the sound by 14 decibel. Use Audacity, which is free sound manipulation software, to get that desired clip. So within the editing, I'm going to use hit film effects to get the high contrast and color correction for the next couple shots. I'm also going to have the H slowly zooming in, and essentially the camera is going to go through the H. Number 2. Setting is slightly emphasized. The lighting is slightly increased on the identical shot. This is achieved by opening the facility door of that warehouse. Because the lighting is slightly increased, the location is hinted, and the background noise is also increased as the door has opened. Shot 3. The music video returns to darkness, in which the facility lights are then turned on and the location is revealed. A transparency of the outline of the artist is replicating what the H has done. This transparency slowly zooms in. I want to speed through this because this is already 10 minutes of filming and I've got 26 minutes of battery. Oh my god! Okay, so shot 4, revealment. This is the point where the audience knows where we are. Location has obviously been identified. There's a medium close-up of a single industry standard light. Layers the conventions of the location, and hence audience is able to identify where we are. The diegetic sound consisting of the buzzing of the light is present, in which creates more of a real environment. We can hear sounds coming from outside and inside the warehouse. There's also distant footsteps to emphasize that a person has just entered the facility, and we're going to use manual focus to blur the background when looking at the industry lights for nice effects. Number 5, performer is introduced. Now, this is the point where we are first introduced to a character. We don't know who he is, but we identify him as the performer because of the correlation that he is connected with the microphone. This maintains a static shot. The shot consists of a long shot as the singer walks onto the shot from the left side of the screen. The singer is approaching the microphone to the center shot. This is the point where the diegetic outside and inside the facility slowly dies down, and within editing we're going to add a slight tilt in a clockwise manner while also zooming in very slowly onto the performer. Number 6, the performer is emphasized. An alternate shot of the performer with the microphone helps associate the character as the performer. The camera fixates on the approach to the microphone. The performer comes up to the microphone, adjusts the microphone to his preference, and then we start to hear the music kick in. Number 7, various performance shots. During the first 3 lines of the song, which consists of "It's been too long, with too many wrongs, what have I done?" Various shots of the performer using the 180-degree rule. This will give a performance aspect to the music video, and essentially we're using the performance elements to help fill in the gaps between the narrative and the conceptual parts of the music video. Number 8, the conceptual segment begins. At the end of the 3 lines, the shot is transitioned from the previous shot, in which at the end of the performance shot, the angle is raised and transitions to the next shot, which consists of this conceptual segment, which starts at a very low angle and then rises up to a horizontal angle and a static shot. The video techniques that we've previously done in our preliminary videos are present here, so we're going to be using elements of the reverse technique as cards fall from the sky. So essentially cards are going to be rising up and it will look quite nice. Number 9, identity crisis. Essentially this is referencing a quotation from Erik Erikson, in which adolescence is the time of identity crisis. And the reason why I've quoted that is because we're going to have a static shot portraying 2 characters within adolescence within a slow dance, and we're going to use the idea of a slow dance to be symbolic of what the narrative aspects are going to be. We're going to have 2 corresponding stories in which they will play out within the music video, and the concept segments will show consequences essentially. So the lighting within those shots are going to consist of a singular spotlight with a backdrop consisting of dim lighting. We possibly might use hit film effects so that we can add a little bit of a colder feel to the shots as well. Number 10, doorway to the narrative. Now essentially we are going to use both characters' eyes as a doorway to the narrative, which is going to consist of 2 flashbacks, and they will correspond with each other with the concept segments. We're going to do an extreme close-up of the first dancer's eye. This is going to occur during the lyrical cue of take it back, just for one night. We're going to use chroma key within the editing process so that we can get a transparent layer of the eye, and then we can put a projection of the narrative video onto the eye, and then cut a transparency around the iris and put it on top, and then make the cutout transparent so we can still see the eye, but we can see the videos being projected upon the eye. Number 11, the first narrative. So this is where the first part of the narrative happens. The movement is predominantly slow. We're going to slow down all the shots to approximately 0.65 times the normal speed. Various shots of relatively long duration, which reflects the music and the lyrics. This lasts in the duration of the following lyrics. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're all right. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them entwine. And then oh. Number 12, the first narrative part 2. So this is the second part of the first narrative, in which movement is slightly increased from the normal speed, so approximately 1.2 times the normal speed. So this is an attempt to apply to Goodwin's music video analysis. The music has gone upbeat, and essentially the visuals will as well. This lasts in the duration until the chorus. Number 13, the performer performs. So during the chorus, we're only going to have the performance aspects during the music video. So we're going to have close-up of the performer during the first line of the chorus, using a 180-degree rule, using the microphone and centre shot as a pivot. We're also going to use elements of pixelation, which have been influenced from the music video of Where Are You Now by Justin Bieber featuring Skrillex, and this lasts the entire chorus. Number 14, the second doorway. So we're presented with a short segment of the conceptual again before we're presented with the narrative, and we're going to use the second dancer's eye to bring us into the second narrative. Number 15, the second narrative. This will take place in an alternate location consisting of a short flashback, a memoir of the second dancer, who is going to be female. There's going to be a hint of a resolution which takes place. We're trying to connect that to the lyrics and the visuals, which consists of So We'll Fight It. Again, similar methods are going to be used to portray the first narrative, so we're going to use 0.65 times normal speed, and this will consist of, during the thorough lyrics, so distant from me, you're so close and yet so far, so we'll fight it, and here we are in each other's arms. Number 16, the second narrative, part 2. So again, similar methods to what was used during first narrative. In the second part, we're going to slightly increase from normal speed, so 1.1, 1.2 times speed again. There's going to be a reduction of hit film usage in an attempt to convey a more realistic perspective, and again this is going to last until the next chorus. Additionally, the second half of the narrative is going to consist of quicker shot changes and more varied shots. Essentially, it's going to be more experimentative rather than conventional. Number 17, erratic shot changes. This is the point where the audience are going to start making the connections. During the second half of the pre-chorus, the conceptual aspects and the performance aspects alternate in quick succession and are highly frequent in attempt to connect the performance to the concept aspects. So predominantly all the shots are going to consist of the camera being held in attempt to increase the camera movement even just slightly, so we can link this occurs during the furrowing lyrics. Because you know what you do to me, it's not fair, I don't care, take you there, make you mine, before we're out of time. Number 18, erratic performance. So during the third chorus, which only consists of 2 lines, the music video is overlaid with abstract videos which develop a semantic field of time, so we're going to show various clocks, sunrise, sunset, etc. These shots are going to be in quick succession, they're going to be quite varied. They are going to be in quick succession and highly frequent. The angle and tilt are going to be exploited heavily during this part, and this occurs during the third chorus until the bridge. Number 19, narrative and conceptual. So during the bridge between the short chorus and the last chorus, an alteration of the performance on the conceptual aspects of the music video will occur here. This is another attempt to connect the concept and the narrative, hence we are connecting the performance, the narrative and the concept all together. This segment will essentially act as a correspondence between the narrative and concept aspects. So the narrative will do the calling and the concept will answer. We possibly might alternate who calls and who answers. The narrative will consist of the sequences that are followed by smaller sequences which consist of the concept aspects. The narrative conveys multiple quick shots, and the conceptual aspects contrast from that, which are going to be long shots in duration with slow movement and changes shot in low frequency. This occurs during the following lyrics: to the beat, come on, step with me, let our bodies sing in harmony till the morning light. And number 20, a return of the equilibrium. The reason why there's a question mark in the title is because we want to contrast to Todorow's theory about his 5-stage narrative. I've already explained this in 1.7, but we want to contrast to what Todorov states, that there are 5 stages to the narrative, and we only want to do his first 3. The final chorus occurs in a connection between all 3 aspects take place, so the narrative, performance, and concept. Within the narrative, additional elements of reverse are used here, in which portrays the aspect that the 2 dancers was actually a depiction of mental state, in which only one of the dancers were actually present within the narrative aspects. Performance. Aspects of the concept segment are integrated within the performance, so essentially we're going to have a separate character for the performance, but he will somehow integrate himself into the concept, maybe like be in the background possibly. And the concept segments, there's going to be emphasis on themes such as death, mental health, abuse. Connection is essentially made through the performance by replicating wounds onto the performer, and the connection is also made through the narrative by adapting circumstances from intentional to incidental and independent accidents. So this occurs during the foreign lyrics. Let's synchronize, 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 synchronize until the music video ends. And that, peoples, is my storyboard. I hope you enjoyed this. This is actually going to be quite a lengthy vlog. I've already been vlogging for 27 minutes. I don't know if I've done a sketch for this, but if in case I haven't, we've got lovely Pepe here. Pepe's gonna take your family. Pepe's gonna take your money, take your food, take your house. He's gonna own you. Look at this. You can't beat Pepe, man. Look at this. He's so... Alright people, peace out. I'm out. Wow.
Cover all 9,000 taste bud. Aerate it. Warm it up. Driving up. Get that top note. That cream. Pure vanilla. Sweeteners. That's a 10.